Yeah, I'm just not even good at that technology either. I don't know why. I just like the simple old fashioned. I would use a typewriter if I could, I
Right,
think.
right, yeah.
Now,
Yeah, I
why don't you
started.
tell us a little bit about some of your works, like Crack Volume 1?
Okay, well, Crack Volume One is I mean, it's been so well received. It's been considered one of the most addictive books in the in the game right now. And one of the things, like, I chose that title uh, because it has so many different metaphors to it. Like, I
Mm-hmm.
mean, of course we know about crack the drug, but to me, I think there's a collective crack in our collective psyche which gave birth to the drug culture. And that was one of the things I really wanted to highlight was the social ramifications of this epidemic that has ravaged so much of the of the nation. But it's a very highly entertaining. It's a thriller. It's one of the type of books that's it's going to keep you on the edge of your seat. Everybody who's ready to be like, man, that book had me up all night. So I love when I hear that. I mean, I know I'm doing my job. But it centers around this detective who comes back to the city of Detroit to solve the murder of a childhood friend. And at the time, he thinks that this murder is connected to a drug rivalry. But in reality, it was connected to this officer who basically became a vigilante after his daughter got shot during
Mm.
a rival shootout. And so this officer is just basically taking the law into his own hands and went berserk. And so the homicide detective comes back to try to solve this murder mystery. And at the same time, it really deals with, like I said, a lot of the social ramification, the politics, all the things surrounding drug culture and crime, and so it's just really highly entertaining. Then it's an underlying love story that takes place between the detective and one of the crime scene investigators. And that's an element I always try to add to all my stories. Like, I'm a romantic guy at heart,
Little
so
romantic
I
comedy
love,
guy.
yeah, I love it. So I love to keep that little element there too.
That's the way you describe it. The book, it sounds so much deeper than the title, which is interesting because
Yeah.
you just think it'd be not as complex as that is. So that's a nice surprise, I guess,
Oh
or
yeah,
element.
yeah. I think people are really shocked. Like when they read the title, I've had people like that I've tried to sell the book to when they read the title, be like, crack, I don't, I don't want that.
Mhm.
But then I'm like, when I explain to them, like even when you open the book, I give several different definitions of crack itself, and all of them are applicable to the book. And when you look at the cover is even metaphorical. It's a lot of imagery there that says a lot about what's really going on in the story. So when you look at the cover, if you pay attention to the detail, and then you read the book, you be like, damn, like, so this was deep. So yeah, I'm definitely trying to go beyond just the glorification of the streets and street crime, but I also want to be honest about what really exists in that world.
Right. And now your other book, Soaking Wet.
Yeah.
Now that sounds like it's a complete different approach, but still a little bit of that romance that you like.
It's a lot more than romance, but that's another side of. I mean, I'm a very creative writer. I'm multifaceted in my personality. I can be serious and intellectual, but I'm also silly and just everyday cool. And this particular book, Soaking Wet, is actually an anthology consisting of 9 local writers who all wrote short erotic stories. So this is a little bit more for the grown, mature, sexy crowd, and
Mm.
I mean that's a part of my personality as well. And so I wanted to express that and get that out, and I think it's healthy. I mean, we live in a society where we so contradictory when it comes to sexuality. On one hand, we have this puritanical mentality where any topics, anything of a sexual nature is kind of suppressed. But then if you look at the imagery on all our commercials, like, women in bikinis selling
Hmm.
diapers, like, how do those two go together? You know what I'm saying? Like, everything in our culture is kind of sexualized. And I think that's one of the things that have led to the HIV pandemic and the epidemic that we see going on is that we're not honest about sexuality and we're not honest about sex education. And so,
Even teen
because it just,
pregnancy.
uh,
Even teen pregnancy, not only the
yeah, yeah,
HIV.
exactly. Teen pregnancy, because everybody's so uncomfortable talking about it, but everybody's doing it. And so, I mean, sex is a beautiful thing, and so I love writing about it. It's one of the greatest ways to express that, So I
I think
enjoy it.
it's great how you were able to highlight all of the different personality qualities you have. Talking from you, I can tell you're a very personable guy. And I think it's great that you're able to share not only your talent, but your great personality with so many people in such an interesting way.
I think I learned something. I was really analyzing like why it was so easy for me to be friendly, but I moved around a lot of my life, so I was always having to make friends. And I'm just a people person. Like I love interacting with people. I love sharing ideas, trading opinions, debating. I mean, I think that's good. Like that's what to me. That's what we were created for, was like to interact with other people. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Hmm.
what would be the world without being able to just interact and be cool? Like that's, to me, that's the most beautiful thing.
Well, now how do you feel then, since you were gone for 19 years and then you came back, and now we have things like Facebook, Twitter, everyone's always texting all the time. Like, there's different ways of interaction now between people. Do you think it's for the better or for the worse?
Well, I honestly think, 'cause I'm a Facebook junkie, I must admit I may need to go to Facebook rehab.
Oh,
But
gosh.
I mean,
You're not the only
I
guilty
love
one.
I love technology, but I think you just have to remind yourself that as great as technology is, we still have to come together in our everyday life. And so I found the balance, because I'm out and about all the time. I got to hustle the books, so I'm always meeting great people, and sometimes utilizing the technology helps me meet great people, because I may promote an event, and then the people come out and we interact, and then we come back and talk about it on Facebook, and so it keeps you connected in a way. Now, if you just stand in the house and you ain't left for weeks, and you just stuck on your computer, then you got some other issues that you might need to get addressed. So I don't know, but I mean, I would hate to think that we would allow technology to take away that human touch, because there's nothing that can replace that.
Now, do you feel like you're able to experience life differently, or you look at life differently now that you became such an avid reader?
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, reading just opened my mind in a way that I never would. I mean, like when you grow up in the hood, your mind can be boxed into like a 4-block parameter.
Hmm.
So that's all you know. That's what you experience in day to day. But when you really begin to open your mind to ideas, you understand, like, this is a global community. You no longer think of, okay, I'm in Detroit, so this is the only place I can be. Like, I think of the world as my neighborhood now. Like when I come to Wisconsin Thursday, I'm just going to visit my neighbors. It's not like I'm coming to some foreign area. I'm coming to, y'all my neighbors now, y'all my homies. So it's all good.
Now, when you're coming here Thursday and you're talking to Wisconsin Platteville students Thursday and Friday, correct?
Right. Yeah, we're doing the Ebony weekend, but I'm also going to be speaking to students of Professor Gagney's, I think it's our human